Episode 2, Suffrage of the White Tiger. We begin the episode from last time, in the flashback, where a younger-looking Hector picks up the Amulet of Power, noting to himself how cool the amulet looks, and narrates to Ava. What is it they say? Finder keepers and all that jazz? That's what I told myself when I put on the amulet as it glowed. But nothing happened really after I left the alleyway. Honestly, I just wish I never found it. I remember passing by some newsstands, talking about U.S. withdrawing soldiers from Vietnam, along with various happy hippies. This was when I was still trying to get into ESU, aiming to study criminal justice and composition. I barely remember much of anything after picking up the amulet now that I think about it. I was so tired and felt cold. I just remember trying to get home, but blacked out near a train station, where I became the White Tiger. What is this? This feels good. So much power, I told myself. And after saying that, I heard a strange voice. A powerful one. A manipulative one. Hey, Diablo, where was I? Yes. That night, I saw a gang, and a small boy harassing a cop at a train station. As they knocked the cop out, and one of the gang members handed the kid a gun and spoke to him. What? Hey, come on, kid. We gotta get rid of the streets of these pigs. But I mean, I'm just trying to get out of your boss's debt, you know? Oh, kid. I'm about to break you worse than we will to the swine unless you pull the damn trigger. Now do it. Before the kid could pull the trigger, or even aim the gun, I leapt down and fought the guys. I was so fast, so powerful. At the time, it was incredible. I managed to scare the gang members away. But that kid, he had his gun on me. Amigo, ¿qué tú haces? Come on, kid. You don't have to do this. I couldn't hear much of what the kid was stuttering, but I did hear him mumble his final words. They'll hurt my family, as he took the shot. I tried moving out of the way, but never before have I felt any kind of physical pain like that, especially on my shoulder. I saw the kid's face as he shot the bullet. He was shaking and stuttering. After he processed it, he tried speaking. Maybe he was going to explain that he wasn't a bad person to me, or he's just in a lot of trouble. Sound like he was, after all. But I'll never know, thanks to the racists I saved. Ugly bastard. Ugh. Are you alright, sir? I didn't respond. All I could see was the kid's blood. Boy, that dirty one nearly killed me. It's people like him that make this country so horrible. My sadness immediately turned to rage. I remember grabbing his throat, lifting him, and bringing him close right to my face, screaming at him. People like him? And I continued screaming at him, telling him that a person like that kid just saved his sorry life. Someone who's just like him, who's experienced trouble, saved his sorry ass. I guess I must have clenched his throat too tightly, or just scared him that badly, since he blacked out as the other cops came down, telling me to put my hands up. I didn't know what to do, so I just ran, hopping over the turnstile and just didn't stop as they continued shooting at me. I don't remember much after that. I remember our sister, Ayala, who was played by Kayla Masonette, making sure I was alright, and I wasn't bleeding from my shoulder for some odd reason when looking over it. And then, after that, I noticed I was also out of the suit. Then I blacked out. After that, though, I remember waking up to the next morning, police coming for me, because they found my radio all bloody and next to the cop I had choked out. But after seeing the cops enter the apartment, that powerful voice returned, basically commanding me to run. That was the last time I fell for his temptation. The last time I followed through with it. And the last I heard of the voice. I became a fugitive for a couple days before being shot at by someone. Stop right there. You're trapped. I am putting you under arrest for the murder of 14-year-old Alexander Bird. I didn't really have an escape route, being stuck at an alleyway's dead end, and still unknowing of my powers. I was confronted by Captain James D'Angelo, who was played by David Hornsby. He was, I think, 48 around this time. With that great beard, he always kept continuing touching and rubbing. It was honestly funny. Pero I was brought to the station. Ayala came to me and wept, asking the white tiger to bring me back. And then after saying that, memories of being the white tiger came to me, since whatever the amulet did made me forget that side. Honestly, I wish it did that forever, and maybe never do what I did next. Reveal myself to Hermana. And let me tell you, she was pissed, cursing me out a whole bunch. Before I could put my mask back on, D'Angelo came in, rubbing his beard, as he saw my face. But he made no comment on it, revealing to me that I was actually free to go, seeing the racist cop conscious, vouching for me. As I left, though, I heard the sick words he mumbled. White makes you look better. He reminded me how terrible and horrible our world was. But I still pursued being White Tiger. Estúpido de mí. See, tracking down that gang I fought, even with Captain D'Angelo helping me as we tried to take down them. Finding out that they were actually called the Black Hand, and they had a different boss before a new one took over. At least that was the rumor. I shouldn't tell you this, but I feel like I must. Ayala was a part of that group after our brother Filippo died from an overdose. The gang knew our family since Filippo was forced to join them, and they forced her to join them. And she told me one night, asking me to help her. She helped me so much. Helped us take down pretty much the entire gang, being our little spy. I never once thanked her. It took us a few decades, more so years, but we finally managed to find our boss, and I... Hermano, ¿qué pasó con él? I couldn't kill him. Those years of being the White Tiger and remembering back to the kid, even other kids that we met that were forced to become the gang members and died under them. So much death. I didn't want to stoop down to their level and murder someone so I just knocked him out. But by the time I did, his minions managed to knock me out, and D'Angelo disappeared from my sight. I woke up on the streets with D'Angelo bleeding out. He saved me, but I felt like I couldn't save him. Or so I thought, as my amulet touched his shoulder and healed him. As I placed it on a bullet wound at his lungs, where it did take a bit, but the bulge managed to pop out of his lungs. He screamed like a little girl. I laughed as I was about to continue to heal him, but he snapped me back to reality, saying they know who I am, saying they're going after my family, and he was coughing out blood, still from all of his wounds, and he didn't care. He kept yelling at me to hurry and just run, save my family. And it was too late. Mom and Dad killed on a broken dining room table in a wilda. Oh, mi hermana. I tried using the amulet on her, I did, but her wounds weren't healing fast enough. She just passed away in my arms, crying in my arms, saying that it hurt so much and that she loves me so much. And I joined her in that moment. I lost everything that day. But beside her was the bathroom, where it was clear she locked it from the inside, as I heard crying. And who do I find but you, sis? Little old baby you. Heather would begin to cry as Ava hugs him. He tells her that D'Angelo died later that day, where he left in his will some money for Heather to leave the city. And so he did with Ava to Chicago until 2006, where he tried to still be White Tiger, but met the boss of the Black Hand again, and fled the city immediately with Ava. You said it was so we could try connecting with our family, since you lost connection. Lo siento, hermana. I could not lose you. Not. As we get another flashback of Hector asking Ava what she wanted to order for food, with her requesting that they should honestly cook more. The two of them hear crashes outside and terrified screams as she begins to dust away, asking her brother to help her, dusting away into nothingness as she was blipped. Not permanently. I lost myself after you were gone. I tried being the White Tiger in your honor and our family's honor, but I got accused of another murder again and thought to myself, what's the damn point? And I just put everything away and tried to live better. Y Dios, he threw me a bone, as they say. As we get one final flashback of him in police uniform, returning to the apartment, seeing Ava's thus formed her back to normal, as he weeps and hugs her so tightly. He gave me you back, and that's why I cannot be the White Tiger anymore. So much pain, so much blood, the killings. I'm sorry for keeping all of this away from you, hermana, and endangering you. I failed you, and I'm sorry. Ava embraces him, telling him it's not his fault. He's a good brother because he raised her, and that he always tried his best for them. We see Hector having fallen asleep on her shoulder as she puts him in the bed. She begins to put the stuff back into the box, but grabbing the amulet, she stares at some of the newspapers praising White Tiger, seeing locals happy about him, grateful even, and statistics showing he did manage to put a good amount of crime down. Hermano, you did good as a hero. I can tell you did. I won't die. I'll be okay. As she looks at the amulet, as the tiger's eyes glow faintly with her putting on the amulet. At a bank, we see a couple of robbers go in separate areas as two of them head to a dark alleyway. Hurry, we need to get this too. The robber talking gets sliced at the chest, only destroying the money bag and his upper clothing being torn. As the two get their guns out in confusion, we see streaks of white blitz by the two everywhere as police sirens approach and find the robbers tied up. As one of the cops look up to see that streak of white leap on top of the apartment building, where that cop gained out their phone to make a call. As we see Ava, the new white tiger, on top of a roof, staring down the city, finding some of the other robbers who have similar clothing to the ones she took down, lunging down at them as the episode ends.